Welcome to our English learning channel. In this video, you will listen to a beautiful and respectful story about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. This story is told in simple English so you can understand easily. It is for all Muslims, young and old, who are learning English and want to know more about the life of the final messenger of Islam. The life of Prophet Muhammad is full of lessons, kindness, patience, and truth. Let's begin his story from the very beginning. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born in the year 570 CE, in the city of Mecca, in the Arabian Peninsula. This time was known as the Year of the Elephant because an army with elephants tried to attack the Kaaba, but Allah protected it. He was born into the noble tribe of Quraysh, in the family of Banu Hashim. His father's name was Abdullah, and his mother's name was Amina. Sadly, his father died before he was born. When Muhammad was just 6 years old, his mother also passed away during a trip back from visiting his father's grave. This made him an orphan at a very young age. First, his grandfather Abdul Muttalib took care of him. But after 2 years, his grandfather also passed away. Then, his uncle Abu Talib, who loved him very much, became his guardian. Even as a child, Muhammad, peace be upon him, showed signs of great character. He was quiet, thoughtful, respectful, and always honest. He never shouted or played roughly like other children. As he grew older, people in Mecca noticed his honesty and good behavior. They trusted him with their money and secrets. He was given the title Al-Amin, which means the trustworthy. When he became a teenager, he worked as a shepherd and later started helping in trading caravans. He would travel to places like Syria to do business. He always kept his promises and never cheated anyone. Because of his honesty in business, a noble woman named Khadija bint Khuwaylid, who was a rich and respected businesswoman in Mecca, asked him to manage her trading goods. He did the job well, and she was very impressed by his character. Soon, Khadija proposed marriage to Muhammad. He accepted. At that time, he was 25 years old, and she was 40. They lived a very happy life together. She supported him in every way. They had several children, but most of them died young. One of their daughters, Fatima, lived and later became very important in Islamic history. During this time, Mecca was a city full of idol worship. People had forgotten the message of Prophet Ibrahim and Ismail. They kept idols in the Kaaba, which was once a house for the worship of one true God, Allah. Muhammad never liked idol worship. He saw that the poor were treated badly, women had no rights, and people cheated in trade. He often went to a cave called Hijrah, in the mountains near Mecca, to meditate and pray. He would stay alone for many nights, thinking about life, people, and Allah. When Muhammad, peace be upon him, was 40 years old, something happened that changed his life and the world forever. One night, while he was in the cave, the angel Gabriel, appeared to him. The angel said, "Read," but Muhammad replied, "I cannot read." The angel hugged him tightly and repeated, "Read." Then the first verses of the Quran were revealed. These verses told him to read in the name of Allah who created man. Muhammad was scared and rushed home to Khadija. She comforted him and told him that Allah would never harm someone so kind and honest. She took him to her cousin Waraka ibn Nawfal, who confirmed that Muhammad had seen the angel who came to the previous prophets. This was the beginning of prophethood. Over the next 23 years, the Quran was revealed to Muhammad part by part. Allah chose him as the last prophet, and his mission was to call people to worship only one God and to live a life of honesty, mercy, and justice. At first, he preached Islam quietly. Only his family and close friends knew. Ali ibn Abi Talib, Abu Bakr, Zayd, and Khadija were among the first to accept Islam. Slowly, the number of Muslims began to grow. But when the message became public, the leaders of Mecca were angry. They did not want to give up their idols or their power. They began to mock Muhammad, harm the Muslims, and spread lies. They tortured the poor Muslims, banned them from buying food, and tried to stop the message. For years, the Muslims were boycotted. But Muhammad, peace be upon him, remained patient and strong. His wife and uncle supported him, but in the 10th year of prophethood, both passed away. This year was called Aam al-Huzn, the year of sorrow. After that, the Prophet went to a city called Taif to ask for help, but the people there threw stones at him until he bled. Even after all the pain, he prayed for Allah to guide those people. Later, people from a city called Yathrib, later named Medina, accepted Islam and invited Muhammad to come there and be their leader. This move is known as the Hijrah, the migration, and it happened in 622 CE. It marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar. When he arrived in Medina, the people welcomed him with love. The first masjid mosque was built there. The Muslims finally had peace. In Medina, Muhammad, peace be upon him, became not only a prophet but also a leader, judge, and commander. He made peace between different tribes, including Jews and other non-Muslims. But the Quraysh in Mecca still wanted to destroy Islam. There were several important battles: Badr, Uhud, and Khandak. In the Battle of Badr, the Muslims were outnumbered but won because of their faith and Allah's help. In Uhud, some Muslims disobeyed orders and the enemy took advantage. The Prophet himself was injured. In the Battle of the Trench, Khandak, Muslims dug a trench around Medina to stop the enemies from entering. Through all these tests, Muhammad remained calm, patient, and just. He taught Muslims not to hate their enemies but to pray for them. He made a peace treaty with the Quraysh called the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, even though some Muslims thought it was unfair. But later, this treaty opened the doors for more people to accept Islam. When the Quraysh broke the treaty, Muhammad marched with 10,000 Muslims to Mecca. The city was taken without fighting. The Prophet forgave all his enemies. He entered the Kaaba, removed all the idols, and rededicated it to Allah alone. After that, Islam spread quickly across Arabia. Many tribes came and accepted Islam. The Prophet sent letters to kings and emperors inviting them to Islam. In the year 632 CE, he performed his last Hajj, where more than 100,000 Muslims joined him. On that day, he gave his farewell sermon. He reminded people that all Muslims are equal, no matter their race or color. He told men to treat women with kindness. He said that the Quran and his teachings, Sunnah, are the guidance for life. He warned people not to go astray after him. Soon after the Hajj, the Prophet became ill. His last days were spent in the house of Aisha, his wife. He prayed for his people and remained calm. On 12th Rabi al-Awwal, in the year 632 CE, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, passed away at the age of 63. The news was very painful for the Muslims. Abu Bakr, his closest friend, stood up and reminded everyone, "If anyone worships Muhammad, then know that Muhammad is dead. But if you worship Allah, then know that Allah is alive and never dies." Prophet Muhammad was not just a prophet. He was a husband, father, teacher, leader, and a mercy to the world. He taught people how to live with love, respect, and justice. His life is a perfect example for all Muslims. Today, more than 1 billion people follow his teachings. Every time we say his name, we say, "Peace be upon him." He changed the world not with a sword, but with truth, patience, and mercy. His light continues to shine in the hearts of those who follow him. Thank you for listening to the simple English story of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. We hope you learned about his life and improved your English too. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share this story with your friends, and comment below what part of his life touched your heart the most. May Allah send peace and blessings upon the Prophet and guide us all to follow his beautiful example.